sometime early this week, I think on Monday, and it started on Wednesday. Today is the second day. Monday, or is it tomorrow? Monday, I believe. They continue with all of the activities, and today the commissioning took the River State Governor and his government to Ahoada East. Now, several things were said. He talked about how traditional rulers or the chiefs were, made to face incarceration for a time being as a result of their support. He made other mentions about other things that are happening. He also made promises as well. But what caught my interest is that he decided to cancel the award of contract, or the contract award, I beg your pardon, to a contractor. I wonder who it is. In the course of the days to come, we'll do our further research and find out who the person is. But he decided to cancel the contract for internal road projects because he says the person is an enemy of the state. Now, that is a very strong tag to give to any person. If you are an enemy of the state, it could mean that you are, violent, and the police should track you down and arrest you. If you're an enemy of the state, it could also mean literally that you do not want the state to progress. But looking at the political happenings in River State over the past 1 year and more, one can't help but think, is there a political coloration to this statement by the governor? And should a contract of such a nature, remember we're talking about roads, I mean you and I need roads, right? The people of Ahoada East need roads. And by the way, when I say cancel, it doesn't mean the project will not be re-awarded. It's going to be re-awarded to another person. But we're talking now, roads are basic amenities, or part of the basic amenities that you and I need, for us to live a life of ease. And these roads are built with taxpayers' money. And sometimes the argument is durability, the argument is the efficiency or efficacy of the projects that are being carried out by government or government officials or government contractors. Now, the award has been cancelled. Is it cancelled based on capacity? Is that what makes him the enemy of the state? Is it cancelled based on, not meeting contract obligations? What is the reason? But, like I said, arrest the governor. In him, the people are still put their trust. Went to ballot, they voted him, majority voted according to Iron Pride and according to the Supreme Court. So it's leads the governor, and he's in that position from people. If that is the case, he says in his opinion, the trust that you've given to him, continue then such contracts to such people who are enemies of the state. Is that a political statement? And if it is that something that should be a reason for cancellation of a contract to a contractor?
We decided to work on that road because we found out that the other access road to this place was bad. That's 1 kilometer to complete the bridge will be added to the project. As for the internal road and other things, so I feel it will be wrong for me to continue to sponsor somebody who has come openly to declare himself an enemy of the state. So that project, I believe the Minister of Works was written to them. I'm going to cancel it officially and re-award it.
All right, let's get your thoughts on that one. Apologies, let's get your thoughts on that one. What is an enemy of the state? What does in context now, in the context of this, what is an enemy, or who is? I think that's the preferred way that's the right way to put it. Who is an enemy of the state? I'd like to get your thoughts. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, and 0817 923 0002. Let's start with this call. 92.3 Nigerian for your name.
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes.
What's your name, quickly?
I want to define an enemy of the state.
Okay, tell me.
Context, an enemy.
Yeah.
Could mean somebody who is working against a progress of a team.
someone who's working against the progress.
You put forth your own interest over interest of the state.
Okay.
That literally makes you an enemy of the state.
Okay.
If you are sabotaging effort of the state, it makes you an enemy of the state. It has too much definition. So I want to stop there so that others can come back.
Okay, so based on your definition, is that enough to cancel the project? Cancel or remove the project from the contractor?
If the contractor refuses to adhere to the directive or instruction of the government, maybe he's working assiduously to frustrate your effort, you have no option than to book or to cancel the
all right then. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I've got Robin from your chair. Robin, welcome. Let's talk.
Kalada.
Robin, greetings to you.
Yes, the statement made by the governor today in Ahoada town is a good one.
Oh, interesting.
You're asking who is an enemy of the state. Contract was given to an individual through his company or to his company. And that company that is executing that same job in a fair land in Ahoada town is fighting the state of holding press conference asking the people of Ekpe to support somebody somewhere against where the funds is coming to in job.
Okay.
Canada, what the governor has done is communistic.
Okay, so are you saying, Robin, that political affiliations are pivotal, are very vital in giving contracts, not in River State now, generally in Nigeria or even in the world?
If you say you're a politician, why are you floating company?
Oh my!
Why are they floating company? They say they're politicians now.
But I mean, let's go to the United States for instance. Elon Musk did support Donald Trump. Does that make him a politician? It's just support. I mean, we've seen the likes of Tony Elumelu. I beg your pardon. What's his name now? Dangote. They've shown support for some politicians. Does that make them politicians?
Canada, the names you're mentioning.
Yeah.
Both guys are billionaires. They did not make that money starting from the year.
Okay.
They have nothing yesterday.
Okay.
All what they acquired is through the government, either the state or federal.
All right. I've got
this thing all together.
Okay. I've got
Let him give the job to another person.
All right. Let him give the job to another person. All right. Give from Yenegwa. You have 60 seconds. Can you make it, or do you want to call back after the commercial?
Let me continue, Canada. It's not easy to get you, yeah?
Okay. But you know what? Just call back after the commercial. Trust me, you will get me. Let's go for commercial. When we come back, we'll talk some more. It's a simple question. Who is an enemy of the state? And should that be a good reason to rescind the contract? Okay. All right. Let's go for a commercial. When we come back, we'll talk some more. 5:28 p.m. You are still listening to 92.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Kalada Korupatibo. Indeed, this is Hard Facts, and we are looking at some happenings today. More specifically, what happened in Ahoada East, a local government area. The governor did make a statement. Let's take a listen.
We decided to work on that road because we found out that the other access road to this place was bad. That's 1 kilometer to complete the bridge will be added to the project. As for the internal road and other things, so I feel it will be wrong for me to continue to sponsor somebody who has come openly to declare himself an enemy of the state. So that project, I believe the Minister of Works was awaiting to them. I'm going to cancel it officially and re-award it.
All right, so the project is cancelled or is in the process of cancellation because the person is an enemy of the state. I mean, I agree. Why would you want to play with your enemy? Why would you want to dine with your enemy? We'll talk about this more. First, let's take a listen to the headline news.
Headline news, Nigeria Info on
92.3.
Headline news.
Governor Fubara links arrest of Arashi leaders to alleged support for his government. Stakeholders express support for privatization of Port Harcourt refinery, Petron, Dangote refinery strike deal to prevent Yuletide fuel scarcity. President Tinubu approved salary increase for armed forces under quarantine. South Korea's President Yoon Suk Yeol orders arrest of own party leader. Details in the 6 p.m. bulletin. To reach the news team, do send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215.
This is Hard Facts.
All right, welcome back. In about 14 minutes, we will go for a commercial again. We recognize an enemy of the state because the governor said that an enemy of the state was in charge of contracts to fix internal roads in Ahoada East local government area in the Russia region, and he say, hey, we're going to rescind the contract. We're going to take back the contract because the contractor has openly declared himself an enemy of the state. And I'm wondering, because I do understand projects are supposed to be done based on, but then again, of course, we can always have professionals who are friends of the governor, right? So these are the issues I want to look at. Who's an enemy of the state? And you think, based off your definition, that it is okay, it is enough reason to rescind a contract? I mean, we're talking with it's government and private business once again. What were your thoughts again?
We decided to walk that road because we found out that the other access road to this place was bad. That's 1 kilometer to complete the bridge will be added to the project. As for the internal road and other things, so I feel it will be wrong for me to continue to sponsor somebody who has come openly to declare himself an enemy of the state. So that project, I believe the Minister of Works was awaiting to them. I'm going to cancel it officially and re-award it.
Caleb from Omagwa, do you think the governor is in the right? Let's hear your thoughts.
To me, I think the governor is 100% right.
Oh, okay.
We all know
Interesting.
he's an enemy of the state right now.
Yeah. So anybody who doesn't support him is an enemy of the state?
No, not him actually, but the progress of the state.
Okay.
If, like, for an example, if something good is going on in your family and someone steps out to work against it, the person is automatically an enemy of the family. Everybody, we want the progress of the state. But if an individual or any group of person stands to be a threat to the progress of the state, the person is automatically an enemy of the state. So, and we know who the person is.
Having different political understandings, as it is in River State, does that make one an enemy of the state? So people who let me be straight with you, Caleb. So people who are on the other side of the fence, who are supporters of the FCT minister, are they enemies of the state? Okay.
So frankly speaking,
yeah.
I am not in support of any political group.
Okay.
I stand in position to make sure the state move forward to achieve something better.
Interesting.
But if when an individual stand in the gap, fighting for their own ambition, not minding the
consequences
of every other common man in the state.
Yeah.
Please, I don't think the person is fighting for us. You see, because we are not blind. I think everybody, average individual in the state, we are all educated. We know what you want and what we don't want. So when you stand in the gap to fighting for yourself, not thinking what others will think about that means you're automatically making yourself an enemy of the state.
Caleb, thank you. Let's leave Omagua now. Let's go to Artillery, where Precious is standing by. Precious, what are your thoughts, please?
Hello?
Yeah, Precious, I can hear you. What are you thinking about this issue?
Okay, Mr. Kalada, good evening. This is my first time. I've been trying to...
Oh, you're welcome. There is no time.
I'm not all that fast to get the number.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'll call it slowly next time. But let's quickly use the time.
Kalada, please, I want to make some impression. I've been listening every day in River State. I've been listening to different radio stations. And this problem, since it has started, since January up to now, there's nobody, I've not seen anybody that have come to say, this is the root of this problem, how can we solve it? Every time people talk about a federal minister. Do you know that not only FCT minister that is fighting against him, we have the local government chairman.
Precious.
And we have...
Precious. We're not talking about the FCT minister now. We're talking about a contractor who is seen as the enemy of the state. So can we stay with that?
Sorry, Kalada. If this problem is not resolved, definitely, if this problem we have in the state does not resolve one day, definitely any person that is in the other side is automatically enemy of these other people.
Okay.
But I want to advise the River State government, and me personally, please tell him, let him call, please. Just see, this is my number. Tell the River State governor.
I can't see your number. I can't. Precious, I can't see your number. But anyways, I've got to move on. I wonder, you want the governor to call you? Interesting, but I'm sorry, I can't see your number. I've got to move on. Triumphant could not wait. While I'm waiting for the call screener to screen calls, let's come here. This one says, who was an enemy of this state? The late French World War II president, the eminent statesman, President Charles de Gaulle, once said, in a burst of passion when his patriotism to France was being questioned, that I am the state. So the answer to that question is dependent on how the leader of the people sees himself in reference to the state. And that's a good argument, the office is a symbol of the state, so you can't say, while he's in office, he's the state, right? But going on, he said, but furthermore, we must question my governor, Governor Sim Fubara, DSSRS. Can he unilaterally cancel a contract that was awarded following due process, assuming without conceding that the said enemy publicly declares himself an enemy, is being an enemy of the state amongst the provisions stated as grounds upon which the contract was awarded to the enemy's company, and it can be cancelled? Tech from Oyibo is asking. But I've got JJ, and he's somewhere in Port Harcourt Township. JJ, welcome. What is on your mind? Please talk to me.
Kalada, I greet you this evening.
I greet you right back.
And I can tell you I'm back from Ahoada. Beautiful place, beautiful dance step, everything, hospitable people.
Did you see the enemy? Did you see the enemy of the state?
No, they should not be there now. When Hawk don't enter town, manpower they run now, and they run. So the enemies are the hot warmer, because the whole place is just simplified, and I tell you for free.
Okay.
That the enemies are those who are bent to make sure that the state don't move forward, no matter what you do. Canada, have you seen the typical trying to work engine, the engine that had issue, at working on it, and you came close and said, bro, this thing one that they do so not go work. God help you that day. even though they had the faith that it will work, but for you to pronounce that this thing will not work, bro, if you know, that's exactly who the enemies are. Can you give your political opponent a job? Yes. And at that stage, you try to be professional in spite of your political affiliation. But when you notice that this person is now undoing you,
in what way? JJ, let's stay with this situation. Let's be contextual now. Okay. In what way was the contractor undoing the governor? Can you be specific, because you're close to the government? Can you tell us?
Now, you know every job has a time frame, right?
True.
If you see the drawing, the plan of the job and everything, if they ask you to do a job for 6 months and 2 years, you're still on that job, and every day you are lampooning the same person who gives you that job, like, oh, what do you go do? Canada, as you are in that studio now, you have a time. Let's assume that you're supposed to, not even assumption now, you're supposed to resume by 3. Now, 5 o'clock now, you can't resume work. Are you not enemy of Nigeria Info?
I will be sacked, actually. but JJ,
because you're already an enemy.
JJ, but get the point now. Monies have been given, right? Because it's a contract. Monies have been given. Shouldn't the state governor or government, now in this case, because the governor is a representative of the government, shouldn't the government be looking at ensuring that they pay very huge compensation?
Calendar. There's what you call VOWD, and the actual money that has been paid, volume of work done, and the money you have received, and all those put together. When the contract is signed, they come together. That's why he has called on the Minister of Work, so that we will know who will balance each other. The Minister of Work will do an evaluation. You check the VOWD, check the money the person has received. We don't want you anymore. Then you bring the money back, or they balance you the one you have done if it's more than the money you have collected.
All right.
It's not that difficult thing now.
Okay.
All right. I can even wake up as a principal.
All right, JJ, that's all you say. I don't have much time. I've got George from Buguma. George, welcome. What is on your mind?
Kalada.
Yeah.
It's just like we said that the police have not given much clarity in the Geneva issue. That is one thing you need to get to know. Investigative journalism on how and what and who is the enemy that the governor is talking about. Do you know this woman, Iron Lady, who they call Iron Lady?
What's your point? I know.
She said.
What's your point?
That nobody empowers his enemy. That is a saying that if you are sitting with my enemy, that person automatically becomes my enemy also. And that is what most time when you see when spree attackers go on attack on one single individual, sitting with maybe multitude of people, those people become victim at the end of the day, because everybody starts to be an enemy. But one enemy was just the person they went for. But automatically, every other person happens to become a victim. So what the governor is saying is that you must go in and make finding whoever that person is. I cannot entrust my what comes from me to you, so that you
Judge, is it the governor's money? But Judge, is it the governor's money? Anyways, I've got to go. I don't have time. There's a commercial coming up shortly. We'll talk about this maybe some other time next week. But let's look at this one. Let's see. This one says the money is an enemy of the state because it is working secretly against the cabinet of the same government. He's a beneficiary of the contract awarded to him, and for such a man sabotaging the progress of the government is not far. Contract and go to the opposition leader is supporting, letting him what project for him to do. You don't run your cabinet with someone who doesn't want the progress of your government, because he will sabotage your government. ODB is my name. But then again, I'm wondering, is it these politicians that have the monies, or is it the taxpayers? That's the angle the conversation is from, actually. Well, let's come here. This one says, the enemy of the state is someone who doesn't mean well for the state. He could be a loyalist of the man fighting the state from Abuja. Such an enemy could be a time bomb in the heart of the state. It is a good reason to cancel the contract of the enemy of River State. I'm sure the energy may be doing a substandard work, or the enemy may be doing a substandard work due to his enmity and hatred for our dear state. An enemy of the state is an instrumental person fighting or supporting those who are fighting the state from making progress, especially the big king from Port Harcourt. I'll end it there. I've got to go. There is a commercial, but when we do return, it will be time for the major update or the major news when we return to stay tuned.